Welcome to the Business Buyer Diaries. My name is Nathan Platter. I'm a full-time employee, and I bought a business. I did everything right, from finding the deal, handling all the due diligence on 63 opportunities, and ultimately bought a profitable gym. And boy, was I in for a big surprise as a new owner. I chronicled everything in real time, including the biggest wins to the stressful nights at 2 a.m. I'm sharing my journey without sugarcoating anything, so you don't make the same mistakes that I did. Here's today's episode. So that was interesting. Just had the weekly manager meeting, and shared with them like, hey, yep, we're good through June. We're going to have classes through July as normal. Been talking with corporate, trying to get some direction on how to keep the studio open. There are 3 takeaways. One of them was to get a better snapshot on inventory. Another one was to confirm some items with our payroll processing. And third and finally was to reduce the marketing aggressiveness to something that's a little bit more within KPI. So something that one of the team members volunteered to do is to take a physical inventory, count up like protein bars and supplements, shirts, all that stuff, just to get a snapshot on what quantity of items we have on hand. And I was surprised. Some of the staff were taken aback. They're like, why would we be doing that? Why is that relevant? Why does it matter? So, well, over the past 6 months, we've bought $22,000 in product. We've sold that for a total of $21,500. So we've actually lost money on doing retail sales. And so it could be a handful of reasons. It could be theft. It could be that we're selling stuff at a discount. It could be that we have a lot of items in the back closet. There's a handful of reasons, but at least having a snapshot once a month, what we have on hand, and at least start tracking stuff. Because right now we know what's going through our CRM, but we don't really have an idea of what's on hand. And 2 staff members got offended at that. They were saying like, well, what do you mean? Like, why does this matter? We've been here for years. Like, you don't trust us. This isn't a process. If we had a system that worked, like, we would have had something now. Ha ha ha. I said, okay, cool. That's fine. We're not making a system now. We're taking a picture. And I like a picture on a clipboard of how many vanilla bars, chocolate smoothies, gray sweatshirts, because like we have no idea. And next month we'll have, again, no idea. And 2 staff were just baffled at like, what in the world is this guy doing? What's going on? And just like looking at their faces, it was surprising. And I think right now there's either 2 thoughts running through people's heads. It's either, hey, Nathan, he's very incompetent, doesn't know what he's doing. The studio is closing. This is not what we need to be working on to write things. Or it could be like, hey, he doesn't trust us. There's a massive level of disconnect. I can't rely on this guy, something similar. Or it could be something else. I'm never going to just narrow it down to 2, but that was surprising. We're not creating a system. We're not doing inventory tracking. We're not having functional cameras that are recording people at all times. We're taking a snapshot. And it seems like the more tenured the employee, the higher the level of offense, and the newer, the more like open people were to it. And that stings. That really hurts. And my goal right now is to work to get the studio back on track. And so folks were wondering like, hey, so like, what can we do? What can we sell? And I said, well, right now, we're still not selling the paid in fulls. Yes, we can sell monthly memberships. Yes, we can sell that. And folks were saying, hey, that's not the message we got last week. That's not what we said we should be doing. So, all right, my bad then. That's a mistake on my part. Yes, the messaging is changing. Yes, we are pivoting. Yes, we can sell monthly memberships. Yes, that is something we can honor, fulfill, and deliver. Paid in fulls, still a no on that. But yeah, for the monthlies, yes, that is something we can sell and proceed with. And I'm questioning, should I have even told the staff that the studio was in a tough spot? Part of me feels good about doing the right thing, being open, honest, and transparent with people. Part of me is like, well, I'm having to deal with people's emotions and volatility and being all crabby behind the scenes. And it's hard because part of me is like, well, I could have just dodged all this emotional roller coasters if I just never told anyone and kept this all to myself and just deal with the blowback of, hey, studio's closing tomorrow. We're done. Bye. and then people are just crabby about it, rather than having to live through this limbo phase. Whether I keep the studio open, corporate buys it from me, like the future is unknown. And it sucks to have to deal with the unknown on a day-by-day basis. So that's where things are at. If nothing else, we're going to be taking a snapshot inventory. I know which people are offended and perturbed and disillusioned by us knowing what we have on hand and how that rubs people the wrong way. And it's perplexing, but it's also insightful as to that people don't like that. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. Talking with another group on Thursday about ways to keep the studio open. We have a party next week, so some momentum there. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm starting to empathize. I'm starting to see why companies, small businesses, why they choose to just close the doors. One day they don't open up shop and then just ghost people and block people. It's way less emotional drama, way less headache. And unless you get sued, like there's way less after repercussion. People may like hate your guts. They may throw eggs at your house or whatever, but here's just an example. And in hindsight, I think I did the right thing, but now I'm having to handle, like, I'm only a week into it, but now I'm having to handle 2 or 3 months of people's emotional up and down. I'm now wanting to report into them because they assume I will continue the transparency. And like, I've been shock fired before, and all I have to deal with is like 24 hours of bitterness, and then you just never see the person again. And 24 hours of suckiness is a lot easier than 1, 2, 3 months of hope and a glimmer of upside. And just an observation. Tough to hear, tough to go through, but I think I'm still doing the right thing, trying to keep people in the loop, trying to do the right thing. And if people think I'm stupid, incompetent, the right man for the job, have a master plan bigger than what they think, I don't know. At the end of the day, if folks say this is too much for me, I quit, then I'll find people that can fill the role that people no longer want to do. So that's where we're at. That's where we're going. Being a leader one day at a time, and not perfect by any means. I feel like I'm doing a fair job. Definitely not doing a fantastic job, not doing a sucky job. That's where we're at. That's where we're going. Rock and roll. This has been another episode of the Business Buyer Diaries. Subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. I hope you're realizing that business ownership is no cakewalk. Check the podcast notes for a link to the DIY due diligence program, the complete list of show sponsors, and for media inquiries. Music written and composed by Wes Schrock. I'm your host, Nathan Platter. Join me again on the next one.